What really happens when you sleep? Every night, your body becomes motionless, your senses fade into darkness, and your awareness slips into another world. You close your eyes, and your consciousness detaches from the waking experience, drifting into something else entirely. But what is that something? Where does the mind go when it no longer perceives the external world? Is sleep merely a biological function, or is it a doorway into a hidden dimension of reality? Throughout time, some of the greatest human achievements have come from the dream state. Masterpieces of art, scientific breakthroughs, and revolutionary inventions have all emerged from the depths of sleep. The dream state, far from being a meaningless hallucination, has acted as a portal for creativity, insight, and even glimpses into the future. Some of the most brilliant minds in history understood that the moments just before and after sleep were uniquely powerful. Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors of all time, deliberately used the hypnagogic state, the phase between wakefulness and sleep, to access ideas beyond his conscious mind. He would sit in a chair, holding metal balls in his hands, and as he drifted into sleep, the balls would drop, waking him up just as he reached the threshold between worlds. In that space, between dreaming and waking, new ideas would flow effortlessly. Nikola Tesla, whose mind seemed to work on a level beyond human understanding, also spoke of receiving insights and flashes, as if tapping into a realm of information that wasn't normally accessible in daily life. What were they tuning into? Were they simply activating deeper layers of their own subconscious? Or were they making contact with something beyond themselves? Things get even more interesting when we dive into the mysterious world of sleepwalking. While many assume sleepwalking is just an unconscious movement disorder, the reality is far stranger. Throughout history, people have reported performing astonishing feats while technically asleep. There are cases of individuals creating intricate paintings, composing music, or even solving complex mathematical problems in a state of unconsciousness. One of the most famous examples is a man who cannot draw while awake, but produces stunning, detailed artwork while sleepwalking. It's as if his conscious mind blocks his talent, but when it shuts down, something else takes over, a deeper intelligence, a hidden creative force. Similarly, some composers have claimed that entire symphonies came to them in dreams, fully formed and ready to be written down upon waking. Could it be that the dream state is more than just mental rest? Is it possible that during sleep, we tap into a greater intelligence, something that remains hidden when we are awake? If sleepwalking proves that a deeper level of consciousness exists within us, then precognitive dreams suggest that sleep allows us to move beyond the limits of time. Throughout history, countless individuals have reported dreaming about future events before they happen, sometimes with striking accuracy. Abraham Lincoln, just days before his assassination, told close friends about a dream in which he saw himself lying in the White House, surrounded by mourners. When he asked someone in the dream who had died, the response was chilling: the president. Not long after, that vision became reality. Was this a coincidence, or had Lincoln's consciousness stepped outside of time and glimpsed what was coming? Precognitive dreams aren't just limited to famous historical figures. People all over the world report experiencing them, dreaming of a person they haven't seen in years, only to run into them the next day, or seeing an event unfold in a dream before it happens in real life. Some have even avoided disasters after dreaming about them in advance. This phenomenon raises a profound question. If time in dreams doesn't follow the same linear progression as waking life, then what exactly is the mind experiencing? Could it be that in the dream state, consciousness is freed from the constraints of time, allowing it to access the past, present, and future all at once? This idea aligns with certain scientific theories suggesting that time is not as rigid as we perceive it. Quantum physics has long proposed that time might be an illusion, a construct created by human perception rather than a fundamental property of the universe. If that's true, then dreams could be a state where consciousness perceives reality in a way that isn't bound by the limitations of our waking minds. In other words, when we sleep, we may be momentarily stepping outside of time itself, beyond time, beyond creativity, and beyond our normal awareness. Sleep appears to open a door to something far greater than science has yet explained. Some spiritual traditions believe that sleep is not just a biological function, but an essential part of the soul's journey. In ancient Egypt, dreams were considered messages from the gods, direct communication from the divine. Tibetan Buddhism teaches that sleep is an opportunity to practice navigating the state between life and death, preparing the soul for what comes after this physical existence. If so many traditions across the world have viewed sleep as a gateway to deeper knowledge, why has modern society reduced it to nothing more than rest? Even beyond spirituality, even if one were to take a strictly materialist view, the evidence remains undeniable. Sleep is a state of heightened intelligence, a place where the mind accesses things it cannot in waking life. It is a state where ideas are born, where works of art materialize, where glimpses of the future become possible. The human brain, rather than shutting down, shifts into an entirely different mode, one that might hold the answers to questions we've barely begun to ask. Every night, as you drift into sleep, something extraordinary happens. Your mind shifts into a state that allows it to process vast amounts of information, unlocking levels of intelligence, perception, and awareness that remain hidden during the day. It creates entire worlds, sometimes more vivid than waking life. It composes music, paints masterpieces, and envisions the future. But perhaps even more incredibly, some say that dreams aren't just happening inside your mind. What if, when you sleep, your consciousness doesn't just turn inward, it actually travels to other dimensions? But if your consciousness is traveling in sleep, then where does it go? Some say that dreams are mere illusions of the mind, a trick played by the brain to process memories and emotions. But what if they are something more? What if every night, without realizing it, you are stepping into a vast, hidden reality, one that extends far beyond the physical world? And if that's true, can you take control of this journey? Can you wake up inside the dream and explore it as though it were real? There are those who say yes. They call it lucid dreaming, the moment when you realize, within the dream itself, that you are dreaming. Most people drift through their dreams like passengers, unaware that they are inside an illusion. But in a lucid dream, something changes. Suddenly, you become aware. You see the world around you, and instead of simply experiencing it, you interact with it consciously. You can fly, create landscapes with a thought, speak to dream characters, and even access information that seems to come from beyond your own mind. And for some, the experience of lucidity is not just a trick of the brain, it is something much deeper. For thousands of years, certain spiritual traditions have claimed that dreams are more than personal experiences. They are realms that can be navigated with skill and awareness. Tibetan Buddhism, for example, teaches the practice of dream yoga, a method of using sleep as a tool for enlightenment. Unlike ordinary dreaming, dream yoga is about remaining conscious while asleep, using lucidity to explore the deeper nature of reality itself. Practitioners of dream yoga train themselves to recognize the dream state, not to control it, but to observe its true nature. They believe that waking life and dream life are not as separate as they seem, that just as we wake up from a dream, we may one day wake up from waking life itself. The idea that dreamers can use dreams for self-discovery, wisdom, or even spiritual growth is something that has fascinated humanity for centuries. Many lucid dreamers report entering mystical landscapes, meeting guides or teachers, or experiencing a sense of cosmic knowledge beyond words. Some describe entire dream cities that feel more real than reality itself. Others claim to have received messages, warnings, or glimpses into parallel versions of themselves, as though their consciousness is tapping into something beyond ordinary perception. If lucid dreaming is just the mind playing tricks, then why do so many people have the same experiences? Beyond spiritual insight, lucid dreaming is also a playground for exploration and adventure. Unlike waking life, where the body is limited by physics and time, the dream world allows for limitless possibilities. Many lucid dreamers take the opportunity to fly across vast dreamscapes, dive into the ocean without needing to breathe, or walk through walls as if they were made of air. Some describe the sensation of flying in a dream as more real and exhilarating than anything they have ever felt in waking life. The rush of wind, the sheer freedom, the ability to soar through the sky without limits. Others use lucid dreams to visit ancient civilizations, travel through time, or even shapeshift into different forms, experiencing life as an animal, a mythical creature, or even pure energy. Some even claim to have accessed alternate dimensions, dream worlds that remain consistent over time, as though they exist outside their own subconscious mind. Perhaps the most mind-bending aspect of lucid dreams is their connection to time and space. Many lucid dreamers report time moving differently, minutes feeling like hours, or entire dream sequences unfolding in what turns out to be mere seconds in the physical world. Experiments with lucid dreamers have even suggested that time inside the dream does not always sync with time outside it. Some researchers believe that dreaming may take place in a different layer of reality, where the laws of time, space, and perception are fundamentally different. And this is where the boundary between lucid dreams and something even more mysterious begins to blur. Astral projection, the consciousness that leaves the body. Not all experiences in the sleep state take place inside the mind. Some claim that, in certain states of sleep, consciousness does not just turn inward, it steps completely outside of the body itself. Imagine this. You are lying in bed, eyes closed, drifting towards sleep. Your thoughts are slowing down, your muscles are relaxed, and then, without warning, you feel an intense vibration rippling through your body. A strange, buzzing sensation spreads across your skin. Suddenly, a force begins pulling you upward, as if something is lifting you beyond yourself. You open your eyes, or at least, it feels like you do, and see something impossible. Your own body is lying still below you, resting peacefully in bed, but you are above it, weightless, completely aware. Panic grips you for a moment, but then a deep, overwhelming sense of peace washes over you. You are free. This is what thousands of people have described as astral projection, a state in which consciousness separates from the physical body, allowing the individual to explore a reality beyond ordinary perception. Unlike lucid dreaming, which takes place inside the mind, astral projection is said to be a real, out-of-body experience where consciousness detaches and moves independently through space, sometimes even traveling to realms that defy human understanding. For centuries, cultures around the world have spoken of the ability to leave the body during sleep. Ancient Egyptian texts described the Ba, a part of the soul that was believed to leave the body and travel to different planes of existence. In Tibetan Buddhism, advanced practitioners use yogic techniques to deliberately exit the body and enter higher states of awareness. Indigenous shamans in various cultures claim to have traveled beyond the physical world to communicate with spirit guides, ancestors, and other worldly entities. Even the Bible and other religious texts contain descriptions of people experiencing states of consciousness that sound eerily similar to modern-day accounts of astral travel. But perhaps the most famous modern explorer of astral projection was Robert Monroe, a successful businessman who had no prior interest in mystical experiences. until he started having spontaneous out-of-body journeys in the 1950s. At first, Monroe was terrified. He would find himself floating above his body, unable to explain what was happening. These episodes continued, becoming so frequent that he began documenting them meticulously, searching for patterns, experimenting with techniques, and testing whether these experiences could be replicated at will. What Monroe discovered changed his life. His travels were not random. He found that he could move beyond his bedroom, beyond the earth, and into realms that defied human comprehension. He described encounters with beings of pure energy, landscapes that existed outside of time, and a vast network of consciousness that seemed to span dimensions. Monroe's experiences led him to establish the Monroe Institute, where he spent decades researching OBEs, training others to achieve them, and developing techniques, such as hemisync sound technology, designed to help induce altered states of consciousness. But Monroe was not alone in these discoveries. Many others have reported similar experiences, describing a consistent set of phenomena that cannot be easily dismissed as simple dreams or hallucinations. Some travelers claim to have visited cities of light, filled with radiant beings and crystalline structures that shimmer beyond description. Others describe encountering guides, teachers, or even deceased loved ones, communicating in ways that transcend language. Some report floating through the cosmos itself, witnessing galaxies, planets, and vast interstellar landscapes. And in rare cases, individuals claim to have entered realms where pure consciousness exists beyond form, a space that some describe as the source of all creation. Of course, skeptics argue that astral projection is simply an elaborate hallucination, a product of the brain under altered states of awareness. Some researchers suggest that OBEs may be triggered by disruptions in the brain's sensory processing, particularly in the temporoparietal junction, which plays a role in distinguishing self from the external world. Yet, what makes astral projection difficult to dismiss is the number of cases where individuals have accurately described places, events, or conversations that they could not have known about while unconscious. There are documented reports of people describing events happening in another room, seeing distant locations, or recounting details that were later verified as true, despite the fact that their physical bodies never moved. This raises a profound question. If consciousness can exist outside the body, even temporarily, does that mean it is not dependent on the brain at all? And if consciousness can detach from the body in sleep, then what happens at death? Could astral projection be a glimpse into what awaits beyond the physical realm? But not all out-of-body experiences are peaceful. Some travelers report being pulled back violently into their bodies, often feeling an electric jolt or sudden impact. Others describe encountering dark, shadowy figures, entities that seem aware of their presence but do not communicate. Sleep paralysis, often associated with astral projection, is one of the most unsettling phenomena reported, where individuals wake up unable to move, feeling a heavy pressure on their chest, and sensing an overwhelming presence in the room. The consistency of these experiences across cultures is disturbing. Why do so many people, from different backgrounds and belief systems, report the same dark entities, the same oppressive sensations, and the same terrifying paralysis? Many believe that, just like in waking life, the energy you bring into these experiences determines what you encounter. Fear, doubt, and negative expectations may attract lower vibrational experiences, while curiosity, confidence, and a sense of purpose can lead to profound, enlightening journeys. Some experienced travelers suggest that intention is everything, that by setting a strong mental focus, one can navigate these realms safely and even use them for personal growth, healing, and expanded awareness. If astral projection is real, then it suggests that human consciousness is far more powerful than we have been led to believe. It suggests that our existence is not limited to the physical body, that we are capable of moving beyond space and time, and that reality itself may be far more complex than what we perceive with our five senses. Some believe that mastering the ability to project beyond the body could allow access to higher wisdom, deeper understanding, and even insights into the very nature of existence. So what does all of this mean for you? Every night, when you close your eyes, you have the opportunity to step beyond the limitations of waking life. Whether through lucid dreams, where you can explore boundless landscapes and access deeper layers of your own mind, or through astral projection, where you may glimpse realities beyond this one, the possibilities are endless. The question is no longer whether these realms exist. It is whether you will explore them intentionally or continue sleeping on autopilot. Each night, the doorway opens. Will you walk through it? Or will you drift into unconsciousness, unaware of the infinite possibilities waiting on the other side? Because in the end, sleep is not just sleep. It is an invitation. The only question is, are you ready to accept it?